Hello everyone, and welcome to my reaction. I mean, read along. Well, my reaction to my read along of Attack on Titan. Because I read the manga and then I react to it. And we are just here joined by Sylvie, Wilvi, Sylvie, Bowilvi, Kajovi, Marulvi. Sorry, I was trying to think what else would rhyme with her name, but guess not much. Guessing there was no time for Pokemon? No, but it's okay. The movie went on a little bit longer than I thought. I was just hoping to squeeze in Pokemon, but it's better if we focus on manga read along because yesterday I could only do the 2 chapters, so today I definitely want to do the three chapters. But we have a Pokemon right here, a Sylveon. Do you want to show them your cute little face? Turn. No. She's like, Okay. Chapter 70 is called A Dream I Once Had. So, Jean, you might have a chance on Sunday for Pokemon. We'll see. Sunday is One Piece Timer, Gintama, and manga. Maybe on Monday, but then I won't be live. Okay, the chapter starts with Jean saying, I don't know. Yeah, she's not the queen I expected her to be. She's been wearing the crown for 2 months now, but she seems more at home running an orphanage than ruling. It's the military that's really ruling the walls, so there's no way of hiding the fact that the monarchy is just for show. But do you know what they call Historia on the street? The cattle farming goddess. They mean it lovingly, of course. Naturally, the hero who vanquished an attacking titan turns out to be this modest and admirable. Well, I guess she really is a goddess now. At this rate, no one's even going to remember who plugged the hole in Trost district. Eh? One of the reasons Historia made the decision to become queen was to do this. This? Look at Jean. He was like mocking him and then he got no feedback and he was like, Ch. She looked everywhere, from the underground to every corner of the walls. She gathered the orphans and the people in need she found there, brought them to this farm and started taking care of them. She's using the royal family's budget and the assets seized from the politicians to run this place and help the poor. Even the captain is backing her up. Well, Captain Levi was from the underground, after all. They were concerned about a backlash from the aristocracy at first, but all their resistance did was further strengthen her support among the people. I don't think she'd thought it out quite this far, but she said she was going to find people in trouble, no matter where they were, and go save them. This is what Historia wanted too. Hey, you're slacking again. Ugh, she found us. Can't we take a break? After we carry all of this, the sun's about to set. She's starting to remind me of my mom. A goddess, huh? So I hear the hardening experiments are going well. Yeah, I'm able to block a cave now, but we're not ready for the mission yet. If we don't hurry, they'll come again. What do you want to do? What's going to happen if you ever meet Reiner and Bertolt again? I have to kill them. You want to kill them? I have to. Why do you have to? Who said you have to? Maybe you can talk to them. Armin has the talking plan always ready. I hope we figure it out soon. Why this world turned out like this. I can't regret turning down the first king's power. The children from the underground have started to smile recently. What we're doing here can't be wrong. Yeah, you're amazing. Not at all. A blush. Even though you were saying that humanity should just go to hell that day in the cave, I just got a little carried away then. That's all. That is a scary face. I'm not gonna lie. What's wrong? Give me that. Hey, wait. You're tired from training. Of course. Sorry, Mikasa. Stop treating me like an old man. Who said, of course? Sorry, Mikasa. And then stop treating me like an old man. It doesn't sound like both of those are Eren. Was it her that said, for the crime of putting their own self-interest above all and threatening the existence of the human race, the military righteously and mercilessly punished those of the old order. Political families and those related to them had their titles revoked and were sent to detention facilities scattered across the lands. As for the remaining aristocracy, different levels of taxation were set for those who cooperated with the military and those who opposed them, preventing them from joining together. These purges displaced even more central figures in human society than had died in the rebellion, but much was gained in return. Oi! Some inside the interior military police, which had been ordered to wipe out signs of technological innovation. Huh? These purges displaced even more central figures in human society than had died in the rebellion, but much was gained in return. Some inside the interior military police, which had been ordered to wipe out signs of technological innovation, had in fact preserved research records in secret, opening the door to new and better weapons. The shining stones in the cavern beneath the race family grounds, supposedly created by Titans, were distributed to the people to provide limitless energy. See, that's kind of interesting, right? Like, a lot of the world's problems would be solved slightly easier if we had options like limitless energy. Imagine if we could take away those concerns that humanity had. Limitless energy source. With manufacturing areas lit both day and night, productivity improved, and the hardening power Eren gained promised not only to block Shiganshina District's ruined gate, it also gave birth to a certain anti-Titan weapon. Trust District. So then they try to squeeze through the cracks. That's it. Stick your neck out for me. Now. And then squash. We did it. We hit its nape. Looks like it did a lot of damage this time. We did it. A 12-meter class is down. Great. It worked just as I planned. Now we can defeat Titans without soldiers even having to fight them. We can run these all day without having to use cannons or other resources. We've created an executioner from hell whose sole purpose is to slaughter Titans. Newspapermen! More good news for humanity! Spread the word! Spread the word! Be the first to let them know. We did it, Eren. Now we'll make more of these and bring them to the other walled cities. And poor Eren is coughing up blood as she's cheering. It's probably from overusing his Titan powers. He's been doing nothing but hardening experiments lately. You should assume that there's a limit to how many rocks he can make, and that includes what he does with his own body. Sorry, Eren. I was too caught up in my own ideas. Please, don't apologize. There's no need to say that just because I'm a little tired. Look at this amazing weapon we have now. Let's make more. Aww. An innovative baby. Well, not innovative, but he is willing to support her innovation at the expense of his own, health. Personal health. And it's very sad because he's so young. Like that is a cause for concern. But at this point in the story, we're past children being part of the army, right? We're past that discussion. The thought of being able to kill titans without anyone having to be eaten. Now we just have to close the hole in Wall Maria and keep using these to get rid of titans. And we'll be able to clean the titans out from inside Wall Maria. Let's get our weapons ready and go to Shiganshina district. This is early in season 3, right? I'm not sure, but I'm quite curious. Where did I stop watching? I see. A Titan guillotine. Guillotine. Excellent job, Survey Corps. The retaking of Wall Maria is starting to look realistic. How goes the nighttime path making in Shiganshina? Sir, we've now secured a path more than halfway in. I'm going to sit up straight because seriously, this is why I'm yawning. Eep. We've now secured a path more than halfway in. Our swift progress has only been possible thanks to that shining ore. The day we execute the plan to reclaim Wall Maria is now in sight, as is the practical introduction of those new weapons. Yeah, I'm caught up to the anime, but I was rewatching it, so I'm asking where did I rewatch? Because I was rewatching and reading, but then I stopped rewatching and focused on reading, but now I'm just curious, where did I stop watching? I don't remember. The day we execute the plan to reclaim Wall Maria is now in sight, as is the practical introduction of those new weapons. Within the month, I believe that all our preparations will be complete. Earlier than expected, but failure is not an option. After all, keeping the aristocrats we've taxed so heavily under control. I was just thinking about something. But we'll get to that discussion when we get to that discussion. I don't remember. It's been a while since we rewatched another episode. I want to say you finished season 2. I think I did. After all, keeping the aristocrats we've taxed so heavily under control and securing the Survey Corps special funding, all that is predicated on retaking that lost territory. If we fail, we'll go bankrupt. You mean the taxing of the aristocrats won't last forever? I thought their money was infinite. Season 3 the order was mixed around, so you decided to wait on season 3, yeah. Captain, sir, do you have any advice? No, I don't. I think you're absolutely right. We have bled both inside and outside the walls, all in order to retake Wall Maria. As for the Survey Corps, we intend to devote our full strength to repay our lost fellow soldiers for giving their lives. Indeed, it is past time you were rewarded for your efforts. I pray that the treasure you seek sleeps in that cellar in Shiganshina. So, does it look like you'll be able to discover what's inside that bottle? Well, about that, this is all we can find out with the technology we currently possess. As we heard from Erin and Historia, it seems to contain ingredients based on human spinal fluid. There seems to be more as well, but as soon as this liquid touches air, it evaporates, making analysis difficult. This stuff is far beyond our capabilities after all. Just how did the race family create it? I'm not going to say something crude or crass. Then, rather than stumble around in the dark, our only option is to use it for its intended purpose. Whom would we entrust it to? You, Erwin? No, I'm a wounded soldier. This box should be entrusted to our most talented soldier with the highest chances of survival. Will you take it, Levi? If that's my mission, You just have to give me the order. Why would you bother asking me? We can't predict how this will be used in the field. In other words, you will be entrusted with this in part because of your ability to make on-the-ground decision. You'll be the one to decide who should use it, depending on the situation. Can I trust you with that? What happens if that dream of yours comes true? Well, I don't know, and I won't until it does. I see. All right, understood. See, that's why another reason why I love Irvin is because he trusted those around him, well, the right ones, I guess. And he didn't, like, he was honest about his intentions and stuff. And he entrusted the biggest decisions to others around him. Like, he wasn't like, I am the right one and I have all the right answers and do what I say, blah, blah, blah. I'd like the chance to unveil my work. Have you given it any thought? You're still talking about that? Just try to show the people that ghoulish thing. Their trust in the military will drop to unprecedented lows. You boors know nothing of art. We can beat them! We can beat them! Those spears can cut through the titans like they're made of paper. Your seal of approval doesn't mean much when you've never even fought a titan before, you know. Yes, I'm new to the Survey Corps, but I've never seen everyone so excited. Not even at graduation. It goes to show how much people expect from this new weapon. Take a good look, Marlowe. The only soldiers excited are transfers like you with zero practical experience. There are barely any veterans around here. What was that? Is that who I think it is? I think it's time for a break. I'm just going to go put away my candle stuff because they're smelling really strong in here right now. It's hurting my throat. Allah. Pas op dat die lappie die kos raak nie, want as dit wit is gaan dit stain. Sit dit net in die oond of die microwave. Hy het nie gevleis nie, ek het net verby die gang geloop. Okay. Oh shit, my papers are falling, my papers are falling. I'm gonna have to get more sticky tape. Okay, so that is who I think it is? Okay, no one said no, so. Is that how little you think of us, garrison leftovers? Aren't we all part of the 104th? Why did you decide to join the Survey Corps now, of all times? Because the Survey Corps was short-handed, so it was soliciting applications. Not only that, they did it by saying things like, the retaking of Wall Maria is before our eyes. Now is the time to rebuild society. Gather, ye soldiers. We can't be the only ones. All of society is feeling the same way. I see. Would you really call yourselves heroic veterans? Well, compared to you guys. Ouch. But you've all really changed. Maybe it's the look in your eyes. What in the world happened to you? Do you want to know? No. Maybe next time. Yeah, I guess I did join only because the timing seemed right. I was just acting excited, just like them. Didn't Hitch try to stop you? Hitch? Why would she? Why? Because you two... You know. I don't understand what you mean, but Hitch did berate me. She said things like, it's not for you, or stop trying to act cool, you weakling. She kept saying that since we were recognized for our service during the coup, we could live the easy life if we stayed in the military police. It's too bad. My opinion of Hitch was just starting to improve. I had to tell her that I'd misjudged her. Piece of shit. Huh? Are you stupid or something, Marlowe? Look at this bowl-cut bastard. What? Marlowe hasn't done anything wrong. Oh yeah, fucking coming from you, just as stupid. I mean stupid about love. But also stupid in other ways. What? Huh? I don't say anything. Okay, I should go. What? Tomorrow's an adjustment day. You should take it easy. Yeah, that's why I was thinking of going back to my village tomorrow morning. I might be able to learn something new too. Good night. A way to turn Connie's mom back to normal. There's still a possibility one exists, right? Yeah, if we keep learning more about the Titans, one day, the Titans are actually humans? This means that might be true. The survey of Ragako village has just begun. This conversation between Ymir and Bertolt. If it's not just a dream you had, that would mean that Ymir was a Titan that wandered around outside the walls. What? No, I wonder, could it be? I'll have to talk to Erwin about this. About 60 years. The whole time it was like I was stuck in an endless nightmare. A nightmare. Huh? Ymir said that when she was a Titan outside of the walls, her life was like a nightmare. So much has happened to make things hazy, but I wonder who these enemies of ours really are. Does that mean the Titans are just humans being tormented by nightmares? Just give me a second. I forgot to change the title. A bit of a problem. Edit stream info. Attack on Titan manga. Read along. Chapter 70 to 72. Okay. There must have been a time when I was like that, where I was a Titan like that too, but I don't remember a thing about it. All I remember is that my father saw... All I remember is what my father saw as I ate it. Wait, all I remember is what my father saw as I ate him. Aaron, you haven't finished your bread and your soup yet. Talk after you're done eating. Yeah. Sorry, Mikasa. Why does he remember that now? What? Because he's like, she says that, and then he thinks about a time where Mikasa was getting a head pat from his dad. Why? It's probably not just nightmares. I bet there's more on the other side of the walls. What? Sheesh, Aaron, all you've been doing lately is grumbling to yourself like that. You got some kind of adolescent mental disorder? What you need to be doing is remembering that man. You saw him when those memories came back to you in the cave, right? That man? Whoever the Survey Corps man was who met your dad, the day he escaped from the cave. Escaped from the cave. He met my dad on that day, and in that situation, he has to know something. And anyway, I feel like I've seen that man somewhere myself. Are you sure they're your memories and not Dr. Yeager's? I think so. Why don't you try hitting your head against something? That's right. All you've been doing to remember is holding hands with Historia. Maybe what you need is a headbutt from the instructor. If that's what it'd take, I'd let him headbutt me as many times as he wants. Hold on. Hey, tomorrow we're going to see the head instructor, Keith Shadis. Wait a second. I was joking about the headbutt thing, you know. Not for that. Whoa. Wild. To go from that to that? Wild. Reiner! And I won. You can worry about saving Annie later. Gah! Don't you know you should be trying to retake the coordinate? Wait here and they'll show up after all. Phew. Damn, he looks kind of different here, right? Whoa, is this the first time he gets revealed in the manga? He looks different. A little bit, I think so. Welcome! Order up, ready! Stop messing with your phone. It's time to step foot into the great ramen wars. Stop snapping, start eating. Stop fiddling with your phone. Hurry what the hell? Hurry the hell up. Learn how to eat. The customer's always trash. Hardcore ramen means never having to say you're sorry. Wow, what a weird ending. We went from freaking this scene with Aaron's decision to go see Keith to giant fucking monkey and the scary face to his reveal to that ending with the ramen. That's crazy. The man who knows the hidden truth from that day in the year 845. Ramen. How does he feel and what will he say? Dun dun dun. And here we go. This is volume 18 of Attack on Titan. Starting with chapter 71. Bystander, which was a very good chapter as far as I remember in the anime. Very good episode. Okay. You didn't know? Training Corps Instructor Shadis was the 12th commander of the Survey Corps just before Erwin. It's been a while since we've seen him too. Instructor, I'm just going to call him Instructor Keith. Bystander. And then he looks up as if he's back. It's time. You're not going to sit, blouse? No, I'm quite all right here. Yes, I suppose the reason I used to summon you here in the past was to rake you over the coals. It's only been a few months, but you've all changed so much, I barely recognize you. And I guess the last time we saw you was 5 years ago. You, changed a lot too. He lost all his hair. That's so funny. I don't want to know what I look like without hair. Please stay. Beautiful hair. Don't leave me. It was the first time a new commander of the Survey Corps had ever been named while the old one was still alive. I'd replaced my own useless self with someone talented. Perhaps you could call it the one act of mine that had merit. Commander Keith. I mean, instructor. Have you figured out why we're here to speak with you? to speak to you just as we may have figured out how to retake Wall Maria. Erin, you remind me of your mother. But yeah, I know there's filters that will show how I look bold. Do you want to see? I can take a Snapchat selfie. One of these things will show me. Wait here. This is me as a man. But that's just a man's face on my face. That doesn't look like me as a man. Okay, but where's me bold? Okay, no. Ooh. Wait. Okay, now we're gonna take a 5-minute break to take Snapchat selfies. I want to show you guys this one. Big ass lips, bitches. Bold. Where do I get a bold one though? Maybe at the end. Here's me as a clown. Big Time Rush. I haven't seen that. Okay, just a filter. Here's a bunny rabbit dancing. I don't want to see myself bold. I want to now that the Modru brought it up. But now how do I find... Here's one with different hairstyles, but I don't know. This is ladies' hairstyles. There doesn't look like there's a bold one. Nope. Okay. Usually the ugly ones are at the end. It takes so long to load though. Here, good one, Cherry. I'm not gonna read it out loud though. Oh wow, this one's kind of pretty. It doesn't look like me though. The lips are too gorgeous. Oh, I wish I had lips like that though. I don't have a top lip, guys. But this looks like an overlining of my lips. See, it's very overlined. Maybe I can make my lips appear that thick. With that lips, I can't think of you yelling, Jay! I'll try and do a lip overline. Okay, guys, I'm looking for a bold filter. Wait, this one? No. This one has a flower crown. But that's not what I'm looking for. Wait, I'm gonna get it. Wait. Can I type in bold? Explore lenses. Explore. Bold. Okay. I'll look. Okay, here we go. I cannot. No, I look like Dobby, guys. It's too sad. I look like Dobby. I cannot. And my nose sticks out too much. Oh my god. I want to create a meme of like... Wait. Quick, someone tell Hank to give her a sock. I will not. If I show that to Hanku, he's gonna dump me. Where is that picture? Here. You've changed a lot. I want to make a meme of like this format. And then I'll put the one before and the one after here. Okay. But first, let me just take a better picture, because I may be bald, but I can still look half decent. Not that one. That one I don't look half decent. Wait. Confidence is key, guys. I have to just be confident. But it's my ears, though. The ears, but those are not my ears, because the ears are there even if my hair is over it. Look here. See, they put an ear there. That's not my ears. I have cuter ears than that. I don't want to post this because people are going to think that that's my ear, and that's not my ear, though. I look like Dobby. It is too sad. I can't do it now. Fuck that bullshit. It's not worth the meme. I bet if Hanku see you like that, he will start slapping comedian. That's mean. We will continue. Okay. Where did we finish? Commander Keith. Instructor. Have you figured out why we're here? And then he says, you remind me of your mother. The fangs lurking beneath those eyes are unmistakably your father's. Tell me, please. Tell me everything you know. To be blunt, I accidentally read that as a different word. Something about, I thought he was calling him something that rhymes with blunt. I don't know anything. But if you'd like to hear a story with no benefit whatsoever to humanity, I will tell you. I was just a bystander. But here is what I remember. I met Grisha 20 years ago now. We met outside the walls. We were returning from an expedition, and I remember the Titan encounter rate was much lower than normal. Then, just outside the Shiganshina gate in Walmaria, he appeared. Hey, what are you doing here? How did you get past the wall? What about you people? What are you doing outside the walls? Don't tell me. You aren't fighting, are you? Can't you tell? We're the Survey Corps. Survey Corps? Do you not know who we are? Ride with me for now. We can talk once we're inside the wall. I never knew it was a crime to venture into Titan territory without permission. As far as I knew, it was the first time this law had ever been enforced. Well, who other than you bunch, would ever be stupid enough to wander outside the wall? Doesn't the law also say you get thrown in jail if you drink while on duty, Hannes? Don't be so cold. He's a pitiful victim of drink, too. This poor sap can't remember anything about who he is or where he came from. And when he came to, he was outside the wall. Scary stuff, that alcohol. So you don't think he's lying? He could be some suicidal debtor who thought his family's problems would disappear with him. I don't think anything. What a pain in my... It's not like he hurt anyone. Don't tell the brass about this, okay? So, where do you plan to go now, Grisha Jaeger? You know that name's not in the birth registers. Are you going to keep using it? My name isn't all I remember. I'm a doctor. Take me to a clinic. I can be of use there. Huh. Also, could you teach me about this world? About the Survey Corps? About you? He was a strange man. He truly knew nothing about the history and creation of the walls, names of places, even the concept of money. I wasn't sure whether it was drink that had done it, but it did seem that something truly impaired his memory, and he seemed particularly interested in how humans lived. When I told him the truth about how things were, I see. While there may be economic disparity, there is peace inside these walls. At the very least, it's not as if you're living in fear of the Titans. Good. Good. That's what they all think. I guess as long as there's food and booze, you're happy behind these cramped walls. All of you. You've never thought about how big the world could be, have you? That's why you can stay happy. But I'm different. Is that why you go beyond the walls? You and the rest of the Survey Corps? Yes, it is. Some citizens are skeptical of the royal policy of non-intervention outside the walls. You could say that the Survey Corps was created to mollify those complaints. But looking at it now, all we've done is remind people of their forgotten fear of the Titans. We're just examples to show everyone else how correct the king was. What do you think? Do we seem idiotic to you? Of course not. You're wiser and braver than anyone else inside the walls. The existence of the Survey Corps is living proof that the human imagination and soul are free. You are the pride of humanity. That is an interesting way to say it, but I agree. I agree if we didn't have people like this that ventured outside of the walls, we wouldn't have the lives we have today, you know, where we've expanded and invented and created and yada, 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 which comes with good and the bad, but the good outweighs the bad, I think. Pride? Us? Yes. Hold on, Mr. Keith, or Keith's son. Are you trying to recruit my customers again? And you, mister, you shouldn't let people sweet talk you like that. Wow, she really does look like female Erin there, doesn't she? It's the hair and the eyes. I don't know what he was talking about that Erin has Grisha's eyes. He definitely has his mother's eyes. But I guess it's not the style of his eyes, but the look in his eyes. No, Carla, don't worry. I wouldn't be of any benefit to them, of any use to them anyway. The Survey Corps needs more special, more chosen individuals. Oh, do they now? Special. Chosen. It was the first time anyone had ever called me that. It's true that I was different from the rest. I never felt like there was a place for me within the walls. Yes, that world was too cramped for me. This is an ugly looking Titan, holy fuck. What is he? Why is he also now bald? Is that why he chose that choice? He was like, well, this is a good looking Titan. I'm gonna try that style. I'm joking. More massive losses? All you ever bring us is casualties. When will the base beyond the walls be finished? Why not stop feeding the Titans and start doing some real work? Use your life to lay back the debts you owe. Keep yapping, you average men. If I could just become commander, I'd be able to get results. You pathetic vermin don't even realize that you're living in a rat's nest. I swear, one day I'll achieve something so great, even your feeble brains will understand its importance. On that day, no one will laugh at me. Everyone will finally understand. They'll see who I really am. And while he was having these grand dreams of what he wants to become, his dream was snatched right out from under him. Shame. Grisha, Grisha, Carla has come down with sickness too. Isn't there something you can do? The bed in the back. Dr. Jaeger, my parents are in even worse shape. Please, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Dr. Jaeger, my wife is up and about again. Excellent. She should be fine now. I found a cure, Keith. Please, distribute this medicine immediately. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Jaeger. Chat without subscription mode, it's quite dangerous. Yeah, but it's not like I promote that I'm streaming on anywhere except my Discord, and no one on Discord is gonna spoil. We can turn it on though, just in case. It got the commander. Retreat! You're the new commander, Keith. We're counting on you. Congratulations, Dr. Jaeger. Oh, the contrast here is so sad, right? He's rising up in the ranks. Carla's getting married. I was wondering, Doctor, when did you two meet? I think the first time was Keith took me to her place. Right, Keith? Oh, so sad. Poor Keith. Ow. Damn it, the base. It's hopeless. We need to retreat. Commander! Power. If only we had more manpower. We wouldn't fight? Right. We'll expand the range of our activities by avoiding battles with Titans. I call it the long-distance enemy scouting formation. Please, use it in our next expedition outside. No. Try it when you're commander. Why does the same thing keep happening? They say all Commander Shadis is good at is head-on charges, yet he's the only one who keeps surviving his expeditions. Makes him look awful, doesn't it? Meanwhile, Erwin's squad hasn't lost a single member. Hope we switch commanders again soon. Hey, he can hear you. Keith-san. Oh, baby Erwin. I'm jealous. Well, not really, but a little. This child, he's Erwin, my son. The news must have not reached you, after all. No, I was busy. I'm sorry. My husband was worried too. Yes. Keith-san, will you keep doing this until you die? Do you know why average men can live out their lives and die without accomplishing anything? First off, because they lack imagination. They never find anything more valuable than their own lives. So they live and die, shamelessly creating nothing but shit. Great deeds can never be accomplished by those on the level of ordinary men. In fact, I doubt those scraps of flesh would understand what makes a deed great. Certainly a worthless individual who spends her life pouring drinks and cozying up to every man she sees would never understand. Not ever. He says, with tears in his eyes, because he knows he would like to cozy up to that waitress too, and just have a child with her and live happily ever after. That's right. Average men aren't able to accomplish anything. Erwin, would you take over as commander? Special people do exist. It's just that I wasn't one of them. But I had to lead so many of my comrades to their deaths before I was able to figure that out. I'll head straight to the royal capital to give my report. This will be my final mission. How could I have done this? Wall Maria has fallen. Titans are closing in. Wall Rose is surrounded. All I could ever do was get swept along with the crowd. What caused me to overestimate myself so badly? Oh, now I remember. It was you. That's just putting the blame on someone else, though. That's stupid. Take fucking responsibility, my man. But I guess average people don't have to take responsibility for their actions and decisions. You can just blame someone else. You called me special once. Everything is your fault. But I get that there's a deeper meaning behind that with the whole special thing. But anyway. They're saying Shiganshina district has already been destroyed. More importantly, if we can't defend Trost, we really will all be eaten. The shelter. I'm sure that's where my family is. Let's split up and search. Carla, where are you? I have to apologize for how rude I was. Where? Wake up, Erin. Dad? Mom, the Titan. It ate her. Oh, yeah. Tell him which Titan ate her. That's one of the worst things in the story. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just almost spat. Erin, you must avenge your mother. You can do it. Let's go. Wait, Grisha, where are you going? They're going into the forest. Don't follow us. Wait. You're going to make that child do it for you? Why don't you avenge her yourself? After all, you're special, not like me. Isn't that child different too? What if he's not one of the chosen? Are you going to cure yet another person? Curse yet another person. What are you going to do? What if he doesn't turn out to be the person you expect him? This child isn't like you. He's my son. Please, I beg you, don't get involved. I think he meant this quite literally, like this is like he's gonna turn to a Titan. I can't explain it right now, but this is my family and my decision. Like, do you think he meant it like that literally? Or do you think he's like, no, you're not special, but my son is? Like, I don't think that's how he meant it. I don't know. And then they leave, and there's a flash and little Erin on the ground. So I put you back in bed, and that's all I know. Is that all? Nothing else? Now I understand why an officer with so much experience as you retired to this training camp, as penance for all my subordinates who died for nothing. No, it was out of feelings of obligation and inferiority to others. You care about whether or not you're special. What? Wow. She was honest. You're here because you've run away from reality for a childish reason. Stop, Hanj. It's not up to you to decide whether or not this information is helpful to us. Don't bring your inferiority complex into this. Isn't that what it means to cast away your own life and dedicate your heart to the greater good? Please, stop. The instructor was right. I wasn't special at all. It's just that I was the son of a special man. Maybe he was the son of a special man too. And he was the son of a special man. What? Yeah. Do you hear yourself? In the end, that was the only reason I was given the power of the Titans. I'm glad I can be sure of that now. Your mother, Carla, said this. Do you really have to be special? Do you really need people's recognition? I don't think so. At the very least, not when it comes to this child. He doesn't need to become great. Why would he have to be better than everyone else? Just look at him. Don't you see how cute he is? He's already great. because he was born into this world. And then it all got fucked up somehow. Where did I go wrong from this chapter? That's such a great message. But alas. 3 years earlier. Those eyes. It's just like his father wanted. His life is like a blazing fire, and I'm sure that fire will burn him to ashes outside of the wall. He'll never know what his mother wanted for him. This place is not for you. Live your life as who you truly are. But in the end, I was nothing more than a bystander after all. I've always been powerless to change anything. Because Eren didn't give up. And so he didn't want to take away. But that is a very good chapter. So much layers to it, you know. Chapter 72. Night of the battle to retake the wall. Trost district. In other words, Eren's father, Grisha. Hello? Where are you going? Sorry, I'm just playing with her. Sorry, I'm scratching the bottom part of the table. And then she's like, what's that? Scratch it, scratch it. Hello. What? Almost whacked me? Why you want to whack me? I'll take a video for you. Maybe she can... Hey, hey. Hey. I'm just teasing her. Here is me bald for real to make you feel more confident. But you look good bald. I think you would look... It's because you're shaved here and here, but I think it would look more scary if you had your beard and then bald. Don't do it, please. Why? You can use the app to make you look bald without the beard. In other words, Eren's father, Grisha Jaeger, very well may be a human from outside the walls. Yes, and he had the power of the Titans, just like Annie, Reiner, and Bertolt. But unlike those three, he wanted to help those inside the walls. If he was so interested in the Survey Corps, it would have been nice if he'd helped us out a bit more. I'm not so sure. Considering everything else he knew, it's possible that Dr. Jaeger even knew the truth about the ideology passed down in the Reyes family. Perhaps he chose not to share that to keep the royal government from finding out about him. But the moment that Wall Maria was breached, he went straight to the Reyes family, the true leaders of the royal government, and committed the act of madness. After getting behind the walls, he was probably investigating the royal government. In any case, he would have needed an incredible amount of resolve to do what he did. And it was this man who wanted to show his 10-year-old son, who hoped to join the Survey Corps, the room in the basement of their house. A room that, with his dying breath, he said held everything. What do you think could be there? The question we've all been asking. Something that he was forbidden to say. No. Something that he couldn't say, even if he'd wanted to. In other words, the memories of the world that the first King Reyes erased from our minds. That's what I'd like to think. But sitting here speculating. Sky, what are you doing? But sitting here speculating, there's no way for us to know. Who the heck is that with the longish hair? It looks like kind of like future Aaron, but more skinny, a little bit. Less round face. More square. Not skinny, I meant square. As of today, we are ready. The operation to retake Wall Maria will take place 2 days from now. So we want to know what's in that basement. Well, let's go see. Isn't that the Survey Corps way? I leave the teams to all of you, in secret, of course. Could we at least have some red meat today, though? Yeah, we've got to show those kids from time to time that they can depend on us. What about Commander Keith? He withheld vital information. Leave him be. He's not worth what little time we have. Ugh. I'm surprised, Hans. You used to have such a crush on him. Shut your stupid mouth. I didn't know about that part. Sky? What do you see? Why are you guys acting so weird today? You and Nino. You're meowing at nothing. Is there a ghost? Don't go there by the plugs. That is a dangerous place. Go, 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 go. Come, come, come. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Anker up for Sky. Dis bord op iets zijn. En is Nina okay? Wat het sy vroeër gedoen? Maar jy het vir sagte kosie gegee soos ek gesê het om vir haar net gemaklik te maak voel. Terug waar? Kan jy nie vir haar sagte kosie onder die kas sit nie? Kan jy try asseblief soos ek gevra het? Maar sy nie vir haar sagte kosie gee asseblief moet ek dit op 'n lysie sit. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's go. What are we going to do after... So Levi stayed behind. What is it, Levi? This may sound impatient, but what are we going to do after retaking Wall Maria? I assume that coming up with a defense plan will be first, but after that, eliminating threats. There seems to be someone... Ah! Don't just be up here suddenly.
I knocked.
I didn't hear you and boom. You knocked and opened at the same time. That's not the same thing.
What is
She went in there.
Where was she? She was down.
She was here and meowing and stuff. But just...
But it's too cold in here for her.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Give Sylvie and Nina and whoever comes to ask Sakikos.
Sure.
There seems to be someone out on the other side of the walls who's determined to see us eaten by titans. And our best shot of finding out who seems to be in that basement. So, as I said before, let's think about that after we get to the basement. You realize I'm asking you because I don't know whether you'll live that long, right? You can't move like you used to be able to. As you are titan food. Let Hans lead the troops on the ground. I'm not carrying any extra baggage. You stay here and wait for the good news. I'll tell them that I complained until you gave in. In fact, that is what I plan to do. All right? Levi. No. I don't care. Use me as bait. The chain of command will remain. If I can't lead, Hans will. If Hans can't, the next in line will Oh, the next in line will. I thought the next in line will be. I admit that this operation will be difficult, but it will also be the most important in human history. I've put everything I have into it. This is my plan. Without me, it is less likely to succeed. You're right. The operation might fail. And if you bite the dust while we're at it, we're done for. You just need to sit and use your head. That's enough. That'll do more than anything else. To trip up the Titans and help humanity. No, that is not true. I can do the most good by staking everything on this operation and... Hold on. Stop. If you give me one more noble-sounding excuse, I will break your legs. I'll make them easy to put back together, but break them bad enough to make sure you stay behind. Of course, it'll hurt to go to the bathroom for a while. That just wouldn't do. Of course you're right. It's better for a wounded soldier to stay off the front lines. But you see, I have to be there at the moment we learn the truth about this world. It's that important to you? More than your legs? Yes. More than humanity's victory? Yes. He's been honest about that since the start, though. It's like what Erwin has done up to this point he said, the truth is what is going to help humanity win, and I want to find out the truth. So I'll help you get there, but after that, you're on your own. And I think that we can't ask anything more from a person. Like, what you wanted aligns with what the world inside the wall needs, which is the truth. More than that, we can't force him to give us. Does that make sense? I understand that Levi has a very strong, maybe like the most just character in the show, in a sense. And he wants Erwin to care more about the world and his own life. And more than... Because to Erwin, the truth is more important than his own life, than the whole world. Like that. He's just like, I'll get you to here, but after that, you're on your own. And Levi's like, no, I want you to care more, but we can't force people, you know? But at least from the very beginning, he was always honest about that. I think so. And he did get humanity this far. Without him, we would not have gotten here. I think. But they. Fine. I'll trust your judgment. It's not about his judgment. It's just that that's what he wants. Tonight may be a special night, but you can't let the civilians know that. You're soldiers. This isn't a party. It's a chance to recharge. Huh? What? Meat? Is this meat? I can't believe it. Here's to recapturing Wall Maria. Cheers. Wow, this guy's a hottie, this cook guy. Who's this? What's his name? I agree. I like that he was clear about his motivations from the beginning, and I don't get the people that try and paint him as a monster for it. It's because he himself feels like a monster and they just hop on the train, I think. But yeah, he was clear about his motivation from the beginning, and his motivation did align with what is best for humanity. But after that, he was like, I'm out. I got you this far. Now you're on your own. And that's like, what more can we ask of a human being than what he gave, which is literally his whole life. As I said before, every single person that followed him chose to follow him after he was very clear about their chances of survival. He can't take responsibility he can't be blamed for their death, even though he does take responsibility for their death. Which is like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a lot of people do stuff like that, especially in the military. A lot of people, to keep their own sanity, maybe even, they see the people that they command to their deaths as cattle. And that could be just because they're dicks, or it's just to keep their own sanity so they can make plans. You know? Calm down. We need to split it evenly. That's a big piece. It counts as 2. No way. You suck with a sword. You'll be useless out there. Give me yours. What the hell do you think you're doing, potato girl? Have you gone totally crazy? Please, Sasha, stop. I don't want to have to kill you. No one could eat this much meat. Ah, that's me. You're eating me now. Sasha, that piece of meat is John. Can't you tell the difference? So you didn't even have meat in the survey corps? How sad. And then she punches him in the nose. Oops. Gsh. Connie, just drop her already. I'm trying. She's unconscious, but she's still moving. Hey, looks like we have casualties. Whose bright idea was it to give them meat again? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have spent 2 months worth of our food budget on tonight. She seems okay now. She finally tired herself out. Hard to believe she was going to split that meat with us. Uh-huh. When was this? 3 months ago, when we were servicing the cannons. I borrowed a little meat from the senior officer's private stock. Don't worry, once we recapture our territory, we'll be able to keep more sheep and cows again. It'll be like a celebration in anticipation of regaining Walmaria. Once we eat it, all that's left is preparing ourselves for the worst. I'll eat that meat too. I'll have it too. Save some for me. Mountain people are a different breed, and the mother says she must be related to Luffy. But then this motherfucker showed up. Everyone's mothers were fucked afterwards, and not in the good way. He disappeared. I felt very sorry for you. Hey, so it's only been 3 months since then. Only 3 months. And in only 3 months, we made it into Squad Levi. How's that for climbing the ladder? It's 'cause you're a genius. Of course. Let's eat. It's gonna get cold. Like I said, you're a rookie. You should be in the rear guard. Yes, I'm less skilled, but that doesn't make me doesn't that make me perfect to scout the enemy in the front line? Are you trying to lecture a veteran about self-sacrifice, tough guy? But how could we function as a unit without that mentality? Listen, we all start out as recruits. How are we supposed to train them if the first thing we do is use them as cannon fodder? So your team's job is to watch and learn from the rear and to make it back alive. It's okay. The really useless ones are the suicidal blockheads who charge straight into the enemy. And who do you mean by that, John? I only see one suicidal blockhead here. Who else could it be? Well, I found out the other day that I'm actually a pretty normal person. So if you see me that way, that makes you a real coward, John. You think you're so cool, you brain jackass? Well, what's with your long hair, you deluded bastard? What's going on? Just not the face, okay? You're gonna rip my shirt. What are they doing? Bastard! They're just letting off some steam. Boys will be boys and whatnot. Show us what you got. Stop holding back. You two suck. Whoa, a fight. Didn't I tell them to stay calm? I'm being honest here. Huh? How many times would you have died if you didn't have those Titan powers? And how many times would Mikasa have had to save you? If you keep acting suicidal, I'm gonna kill you. I'll make sure to keep that in mind. I got $5 on Aaron. He's scrappy. Why does that sound like a reference? And you, be nicer to your mother. What? Ginny? Forget about that. Don't we need to stop them? No. It's fine. Why isn't anyone trying to stop us? How long is this going to go? Oh God, I'm gonna puke up that meat. Look at Aaron's face. And then Levi comes in and kicks them both to the ground. All of you, you're being too rowdy. Go to bed. Yes, Daddy Levi. And clean that up. It's weird to say this about myself, but I ought to take better care of my own body. Why? Why? I hung back because I knew you'd heal right away, anyway. I can't believe you. You're the one who started it. Hey, you've got your energy back. I'm glad we went to see the instructor. Whether I'm energetic or not, I plan on doing what needs to be done. But yeah, I feel better. I was so caught up in pointless worrying. Like, why I wasn't strong like you. I was jealous. I felt useless because I couldn't be like you or Captain Levi. But neither you nor the captain can fight by yourselves, which is why we all need to find our own roles. Great power comes from joining ourselves together. And not making decisions all by yourself, even though your friends don't want to make you to do certain things, but okay. Yeah. I agree. Aaron could recover easily, but John, he not so much. I guess humans are so different from each other because of times like this. That makes sense. But kids like that bullied you, they should be smacked. Smack some sense into them. Who's that behind them? That looks so sketchy. And there's Hannes. Oh, it's not Hannes. It's just a memory. Of course not. When we retake Wall Maria and defeat all our enemies, can we go back? Back to those days? We'll bring them back. See, that's the problem. You can never go back to the past. You can only create new, better days or new days, and hopefully it will be better for the next generation. Make sure that what happened to you doesn't repeat again. Still, some things are gone forever and they'll have to pay for that. That's not all. Oh, that's Levi. I was just confused for a second. The sea. Remember? A giant lake filled with so much salt water the merchants could never collect it all. The Titans aren't the only things outside the wall. Outside the walls. Burning water. Land made of ice. Snowy plains of sand. I joined the Survey Corps so I could see all of that. Yeah, I know. You did. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was always whining about being trapped behind the walls, but now he wants to go back to those days. But the thing is, going back to those days means, like, you're always trapped. He wants to be, like, with his friends. He wants to be with the people he loves, but he doesn't want to be trapped, with the threat of the Titans always looming over them. So let's start by going to the sea. Salt water that stretches all the way to the horizon. There are even species of fish that you can only find there. You still don't believe me, do you? I swear it's there. You just wait. Oh, fine. Then I guess I will have to see it for myself. That's a promise, okay? No taking it back. What are you two going on about now? Oh, Levi listening to them. Such a handsome boy. It is definitely a natural part of humanity to want to travel and explore and I wouldn't go so far as to say that I wouldn't go so far as to say that. The history is so... There was the long ago king who had that slave girl, right? And then I don't remember why, and then she ran away because she was being chased, basically being hunted. And then she turned into this titan and she got this power, and the king used that power because he wanted to like take over the world. I don't know, and create a race of titans basically, right? And he even made his own children eat her. So he had 3 children and he made the children eat her so that the power was with them, right? But there were other people as well mixed in between. So people like he conquered, right? That was the original king. The original King Fritz was an awful person. Yes, but listen. So then for generations, the original King Fritz brainwashed people to try and populate the earth more with Titan people. What are they called again? The Titan people, the people that can turn into Titans. No, I know who you mean. I'm just trying to get there because I don't really agree with you. But you need to talk about that with the whole history. You can't just talk about it. So then he created the Eldians, and at some point, I don't know when, people started to fight back, right? And there was a family that helped them to fight back. And then that King Fritz was like, we have too much sin, essentially. We don't deserve to... My people don't deserve to, like, we can never make reparations for what we've done, as if every single person did that. But I guess he was like, okay, well, the world will never see us as anything except monsters. And so instead of like... His plan was essentially to hide them away and say, world, don't come here or we will destroy you. The rumbling. He threatened with the rumbling. And he hid them away, knowing that eventually the world would come. But he hoped that they forgot. I wouldn't say that. I don't know. I don't understand why that was brought up. Because you said the king wasn't able to make a real paradise, but he could have done worse, I guess. But could he? Like, I don't know, but it's kind of sad for me to think like, okay, my dad decided or my grandfather decided he and his family has done too many bad things. He's going to take me and my mother and my siblings over to an abandoned island and threaten the world with an atomic bomb. And then hide us away and lie to me about what happened in our history. Like, you could not have done worse than that. I think you can do worse than that. I mean, I understand, like, he thought he was doing a good thing, but I guess I was thinking about the Eldian situation in Marley and how bad they had it, even compared to Eren and Mikasa and most of them. But see, that's why I brought up the whole history, because I don't really understand the timeline with regards to... It was the original king who started colonizing, essentially, and then someone started fighting back. It wasn't like Marley just popped up like that. He lived with all of them and then left some people in Marley. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused about the details in the middle. Like, this is how it started, and there was the first king and the colonizing and the eating of Ymir. And then people started fighting back at some point, and a specific family sided with the non-Eldians, everyone else. And then the king left. This part confuses me. You see what I'm saying? Did he only leave because they started losing? Did they ever try and make peace? Was there ever, like, peace negotiations, or like, hey, sorry for what we've done? Like, I don't know. It's difficult. Me too. Wonder if there was a reason it took 1,700 to 1,800 years for things to change so suddenly. Yeah, like, I'm still iffy about that part. But that's why I'm rereading the manga. So there's no need to explain it to me now. That's why I'm rereading the manga. Because I want to get clear on certain details and stuff. And there was one more thing. Oh, the Titans, during the time of the bad king that did all these colonizing and basically raping people of other nations to have his babies and create more Eldians, right? During that time, the Titans' powers were used to make very great innovations, which the rest of the world now uses, right? So they built, like, maybe roads and bridges and I don't know what else. And another question, this is something that Nux, I think, has asked me before, just for curiosity's sake. In the history of the human race, our real humans, right? Very unethical, bad scientific practices were carried out in order to take scientific steps that currently life-saving medicine were created originally, like, through very bad unethical practices in the past. Does that mean we should stop using it? Does that, question one, does that mean we should stop using those things because they were developed through unethical means? Or should we just focus on, well, that has happened and people's lives are being saved now, so there's no point in throwing away something that, even though it was created through evil means, there's no point in throwing it away because it's helping people now. That's the one thing. And the second thing, because if you say yes, we have to keep it because there's no taking back what happened and we are saving people now. If you say yes to that, doesn't that kind of and I would say yes to that, doesn't that pose a risk or create a risk that more people will justify horrible things because, well, we can save people later? It adds to the greater good. We're killing 100 people now, but it'll save 1,000 people later. Isn't that a bit of a slippery slope? Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you. Raf says some forms of chemotherapy and whatnot originated from Nazi science. Interesting. War is often a time of great scientific steps being taken because people are put under very heavy pressure. So for example, think about, I was playing Genshin the other day and I was basically cheating because I was like, ugh, I don't want to figure this out now. I don't know what to do. Just cheat. And then there was a big fight with a boss, and I didn't have time I couldn't cheat and look up the answer. And so like I was like forced, and I was like, I'm being shocked and I'm being fighting and my characters are gonna die. And then I figured it out like that because my brain was put under pressure. It was like the only way out is through. And so sometimes in war, when there's so much horrible things going on, people are like making these great steps. But oftentimes that's because they're willing to do more unethical things, because in a time of war, it's like, oh, well, I can't think about the ethics here. I need to create something that's going to help people. And so crazy. We already did in the space race too, with a lot of Nazi scientists being spared horrible punishment by helping advance research and development for rockets and other technology like satellites. Japanese Unit 731 used thousands of prisoners to practice medical practice on. They would freeze their limbs and then treat them to see the best way to defrost limbs. And there was another, someone shared this recently. I never knew about this person. Let me just see if I can find the link on this topic. So there was this guy. It's loading. Why is it loading so long? Why? It says this site can't be reached. Oh, motherfucker. Okay, so this is a guy, John Rabe. John Heinrich Detlef Rabe was a German businessman and Nazi party member best known for his efforts to stop war crimes during the Japanese Nanjing massacre and his work to protect and help Chinese civilians during the massacre that ensued. So like, it's so crazy because out of like when you're in history class in high school, you watch maybe like Schindler's List and learn a little bit about history, but it's what Attack on Titan does so well is it shows how nuanced these things are. And to me, there's always, as I've said before, there's a goodness and badness scales, and once you go too far, it doesn't really matter. Oh well, you murdered 100 puppies, but you saved 10 people. Like once you've brutally murdered and like tortured 100 puppies, like, okay, I'm glad these 10 people are alive, but you shouldn't be excused. Like, it doesn't excuse, it's too far on that side of the, So we can acknowledge, okay, 10 people were saved, but that doesn't, you still have to atone for the 20 puppies that you, how do you say, tortured and mutilated and what. And so even though these things are nuanced and we have to acknowledge, okay, this was done, I don't think the problem is a lot of people forget about the puppies. Does that make sense? or children, or whatever you want to replace it with. But I mean, that John Reb guy, he was, yeah, I can't even say the word because that would be clipped and I would be cancelled. The Unit 731 was way more brutal than the Nazis, but the peace agreement with Japan helped most of the unit escape punishment. Really? Why is that? Was it because they didn't want to repeat the mistakes of World War One, I guess, where the punishment is too harsh so that the country can't recover, and then that gives an opportunity for another Hitler to easily brainwash the destitute, innocent citizens that are left behind. This is a very interesting conversation, but I think we should stop it here and continue reading. It is already 10 o'clock, and I said tonight I will finish at 10 o'clock. Okay, so the last part that we saw, also, hi Fairy, nice to see you. This is the last page we read, so we're continuing from there. And this is to say welcome to Fairy. Just before sunset, it's time. Whoosh. So they're setting out. Okay, so this is them setting out. There's dramatic wind, and Irvin is wow, look how short that guy is. Oh my goodness. What is his name? Zachary? Okay, so they're doing the thing. Creak, creak, creak. Hans! Flegel? Take back War Maria! The future of mankind is in your hands! Captain Levi! Thank you for saving this town! Please, all of you, come back safely! But get us our land back too! Well, they blew it. Someone was bound to figure out after all that noise. Yeah, Zachary the artist. Yeah, it was Zachary first, and then here's Flegel now. Fuego. Sorry, no, that was a stupid joke. Okay. Actually, I ordered the meat from the Reeves company. Damn it, Flegel. Yeah, you can count on us. How long has it been since the Survey Corps had a send-off like this? Who knows? Has it ever? As far as I know, it's a first. Aww. War cry! Commence the final operation to retake Wall Maria! Susume! Damn. I want to screenshot that. It's so shocking kind of to see Irvin actually get carried away by the mood. Wait, did you just sing Furera? Yes, yes. Fuego. Yes. Okay. And then all the horses, and they're running. Oh, and then look who we see. Ooh. Dun, 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 we're coming for you. I'm kidding. Please, talk it out. You can still talk it out, but fucking sick. I need Edwin saying Susume and Shinzo wa Sasage on repeat to listen to when I'm studying for exams. I think you can find the 10-hour version on YouTube, I'm sure. Edwin doesn't get carried away often. It feels good for him after a successful coup. Me too, Jerry. Me too. Okay. Well, that is today's 3 chapters. And it is 10 o'clock. We are ending at the exact right time. One of my most hated, if not the most hated character. Says Cherry. So I think one lesson from today's and yesterday's videos is just how important the conversations about these things are, and how important it is to look at things in a very nuanced way. But looking at things in a nuanced way doesn't mean excusing anything. Does that make sense? Like, that's what Attack on Titan teaches me anyway. And people often say, you think about things too black and white. Blah, 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 blah. It's more complicated than that. It's like, I get what they're trying to say. What they're trying to say is, let's make a crazy example. So, let's say a child is abused mentally, sexually when they're younger. They're more likely to grow up to be a sexual abuser because maybe it fucked up their brain and their development, and then they could repeat that behavior. Like, they're more likely to do that. Not guaranteed, of course, but more likely. Depending on the severity of the abuse, yada, yada, yada. But understanding that, what frustrates me is people think when I react and like I see that a person perpetuating the abuse, sexual, mental that they went through, in that moment, in the moment of watching them do that, it doesn't fucking matter what they went through. The nuance doesn't matter when people are being hurt. When you can stop the people being hurt, when you can stop the madness, the pain, the perpetuation of the suffering and the sadness, after that we can look at what caused this so that we can stop it from happening again. But the problem with Attack on Titan is it's still happening. You understand why? The perpetuation has not yet stopped. There's not really much time, especially in a reaction of an episode when you're all in your emotions and stuff. There's no time to be like, how do you feel about that? How did your father treat you? Were you sexually abused as a child? Like, there's no time for that. People are being fucking killed left, right, and center. Rocks are being thrown. People are losing their heads. I feel anger is justified, especially at individuals throwing rocks. You know what I'm saying? Playing baseball with people's heads. I feel like my anger is justified. I don't care about how your father treated you when you are murdering people. Once I can stop you murdering people and put you in jail, then we can talk about your feelings and how to stop the same shit from happening to the next person. And whatever. Know what I'm saying? Kayla, don't kill innocent people. Them. Wow. That's such black and white thinking. Pretty much. Oh, you're mad? The innocent people are dying? Wow, how one-dimensional of you. Cue Levi boss music. Oh yeah. I can't wait for that episode rewatch. I find it funny seeing my roommate thinking like me when I was first reading this arc, and I can't answer his questions about spoilers. Just wait and see. That's good. But the Ruff's revenge, that doesn't make sense considering what we just spoke about. I feel like you already forgot what we just spoke about. Eldians did horrible things. Does that make like every Eldian bad? Nazi ideology is a obviously very dangerous, and in the past, in that ideology, horrible deeds were carried out. But what about that John Rube guy? Are we not allowed to acknowledge that? Should we not acknowledge that? Like, it's like that Alyssa Milano woman. So funny. She was like, I hate Elon Musk and I am giving away my Tesla. I bought a Volkswagen, which is like, yeah, the Nazis kind of, you know, you mean you like, you don't want an invention that Elon funded. You don't want to use that, but you're fine with using an invention that the Nazis, like, do these people think? Do you understand? Like, just because, okay, people are not thinking these days. It's such a, we have to say this, we have to think that. Like, that is why I love Attack on Titan, because it forces us to think a bit deeper. That doesn't mean we have to be like, oh, well, Alyssa is driving a Volkswagen. She must be a Nazi. Like, are you stupid? That's not what I'm saying. But is she not allowed to drive a Volkswagen just because of bad things that happened in the past? And oh my god, it's so it's complicated. It's nuanced. When you're going to start back on rewatching, I don't know. I'm thinking of just reading the manga, getting up to date, and then if I have time, I'll rewatch season 3 and 4. So yeah, I'm confused, Ruff. Why, like, after the conversation we just had, it's, I don't know. It's complicated. Were you here yesterday? In yesterday's conversation? And yeah, obviously, what did Nazi stand for again? National Socialist German Workers' Party. So of course it was a very horrible and dangerous ideology that was by the people of the majority of people in the party. It was used to carry out horrible things. But think nicely. Think about what Attack on Titan shows us about. I mean, consider, for example, the Nazi symbol thing. Consider, for example, that symbol was appropriated by Nazis, right? And now no one's allowed to share that symbol. So isn't that blind, kind of? For much longer than the Nazis ever used that symbol, it was used by other people. It has a completely different meaning. And now it's like stuff like that really makes me think, do we really understand like what we're doing when we say everyone has to think like us, everyone has to hate this symbol because Nazis are bad? And like, isn't it more nuanced than that? Isn't that what Attack on Titan teaches us? Should we really allow ourselves to be that tunnel-minded? I don't know. I honestly don't know how to phrase these things, so I don't try until I can. But to me, I don't see those people as Nazis, but normal, everyday Germans living under Nazi regime. Kind of like saying communists are bad. I say that in general, but there's everyday people living in suffering under a communist regime. So I do get the phrase Nazis are bad is a common sense phrase in that regard. Yeah, but the way that Ruff says it, so I don't think it's wrong to say that. I was just saying, because I can tell he's referring to some recent events. And he's saying, like, it's common sense. You have to say that. If you don't say that, then you're not common sense. But in light of the more in-depth, more nuanced conversation we just had, that didn't seem fair to me. Like, you have to say one thing, otherwise you don't have common sense. So I'm not saying he's not allowed to say that. In general, sure, but we've been having quite a nuanced conversation in light of Attack on Titan and the lessons that are folded within the overall story. Larger lessons, because the story does have very strong links and symbols to things like World War I, World War II. So obviously, it encourages us to have more nuanced conversations. And so saying, even though the original Eldian king may have been horrible and thousands of years of horrible or hundreds of years of horrible things happened, just saying, do we have to say Eldians are bad? Do you understand what I'm trying to get at? Like you said, it's a lot of people lived under a certain regime. I'm just saying we should talk a little bit more in this context where we're at. Saying one thing is common sense and anything else is not common sense, it seems reductive. Is that the right word? It's reducing life and these very nuanced historical events to either this or that. And that is what black and white thinking. When Attack on Titan itself, it does encourage us to think more deeply. Luckily, the events we're talking about has passed. Luckily, Attack on Titan is fictional. Once we feel our emotions and the characters, stop being voice acted and the episode comes to a close, we can take a few deep breaths. We can try and okay, it's fictional. Let's talk about this. Let's unpack it. It's sad that they had such an impact that twisted the symbol's connotations, especially in the West. The thing is, when you have, in my opinion, when you have people with very, very dangerous ideas, like, let's say people today, that still believe in this, what was it called again? Okay, so let's say there are still people today that believe in the ideals of the National Socialist German Workers' Party. There are obviously, let's say you persecute them as they would have others persecuted. You don't allow them to be heard and you don't allow conversations to be had between them and others. Or I feel personally, how do you say this? Like conversations, purely conversations. You give them more, it's like banning a book. It makes the book more popular, doesn't it? It makes the people buying the book more hidden, and then they can do things that we can't see. It's like a festering. If they are brought to the light and made to share their ideas in the light of day under our criticism, we can be like, that's stupid and this is why. That's stupid and this is why. That's stupid and this is why. So my point is that saying that there's a one way that you're allowed to speak about these things, and if there's just one way you're allowed to speak about these things, I don't think you're solving the problem. You're not creating less of the problem because those people will remain there. Banned books will continue to be read. But Cherry, what about that? That's my question here. What about that guy that I mentioned, the John Rabe guy? What about the inventions? I'm not saying you're not allowed to say the Nazi party is bad. I'm saying squashing, like saying you're only allowed to say one thing, squashing conversation. It's like it creates ignorance, like Alyssa, that Alyssa woman that said she doesn't like Elon, so she won't drive his car, but then she bought a Volkswagen. So like, do you understand my point? Because it was also invented through the Nazis. It's the chemotherapy thing. Should we stop using it? Excuse me. Should we stop using it because it was invented through very horrible means. So I'm not saying you or Raf's Revenge can't say Nazis are bad. I didn't say that. I was saying in the context of this conversation, is anyone who says differently, who dares to question just that one line of thinking, because Raf says, if you don't say this, you don't have common sense. But I'm not saying anyone should be allowed to say the opposite. I'm saying if you question that, if you're like, but what about the inventions that came from it? Should we be allowed to use it or not? What about people like John Rabe? Why are we not allowed to like speak further than just that catchphrase? That is my question. In the context of, let's say, Attack on Titan, I feel like you are getting very defensive because why am I not allowed to say Nazis are bad? I didn't say you're not allowed to say that. I was speaking specifically to Rafs, who said, if you don't say that, you don't have common sense, which was my issue. Because in the context of our discussion, we were just speaking about, let me see that guy again. So John Rabe was a German businessman and Nazi party member, best known for his efforts to stop war crimes during the Japanese. So my question is, if I'm not allowed to say anything other than Nazis are bad, and if you don't say that, you don't have common sense. I'm not saying you can't say it. I'm saying if that's the only thing you're allowed to say, would there be no conversation such as someone like John Rabe? We can't talk about him. We can't talk about the good that came out of that time in the sense of chemotherapy. So my question is, should we stop using it now? Like, okay, that came out of that time, and should we stop using it now because evil people made it? These conversations are necessary to be had, because if you say no, then what about the next bad thing? Shouldn't we be allowed to justify that if it can save people? These are just conversations that should be had. I'm not saying there are answers to them and there's a one answer. I'm saying Raf said you have to say this or you don't have common sense. That was my issue. The full sentence. I'm not saying you're not allowed to say Nazis are bad. I'm wanting, can we have a further conversation without being called Nazis or without being called you don't have common sense? Because there's so much that I learned recently that I never knew before, like about like the Unit 731 that did even worse things. And who did they fall under? Out of that time, out of World War II, why is Nazi the only bad party I know about? What about, who was this Unit 731 working for? I don't know anything about that. The whole World War II conversation is so much more than just Nazis are bad to me. And if we really want to prevent something like that from happening again, we have to be able to discuss further than just, this is the truth, and accept that, and we're not talking about it any further. Otherwise, you don't have common sense. That was my thing. But I haven't denied any atrocities. So why are you reacting in such a emotional way? Because what you're saying is, you are very sensitive about this because family deny the atrocities, but I didn't deny the atrocities. So why are you reacting to me as if you're speaking to those people? Because I feel like that stops you from being able to think critically, because you're just thinking in emotion, because you're attributing the emotion you feel in that situation to this situation. It's like your ex-boyfriend cheated on you, and now every time your new boyfriend touches his phone, you freak out. Like, that's not really fair to your new boyfriend. It's like maybe an issue you should deal with, like, before you start a new relationship or a new discussion. You have to be able to dissolve the emotions first so that you can have a productive conversation or a productive relationship with the next guy. Because now what you're doing is you're reacting in an emotional way, and it's like it's putting me in defense, because you're saying I said something which I didn't say, but you felt that because you're already emotional because of how you've had conversations with previous family members who deny things, which I never did. I never denied anything happened or didn't happen. Japan and Italy was with Germany in World War II. No one talk about them when they think about World War II. Yeah, because I never knew about that, and I would have never learned about it if it wasn't for something like Attack on Titan, which caused me to talk about more. Because of Attack on Titan, it encouraged me to learn more about the Second World War, and the first one, and what led to the second one. And it was Cherry who I first started talking about with regards to this kind of stuff. So like, that is why I love Attack on Titan so much, because it resurfaces this topic and bears it open, and it taught me there's more to this than just Nazis are bad. Yes, Nazis are bad. The whole ideology is bad, of course, we all know that. But there's so much more to it than that. And if we really want to make sure that this doesn't happen again in the future, and we don't make the same mistakes, because in the last 2-3 years, things have happened which were awfully close to things that happened before. But I don't want to get into that whole conversation because I'm not prepared to speak about that myself. But if we really want to prevent something from happening again, we can't just water it down to, you have to say this, or you're ignorant, or you don't have common sense. That's what Attack on Titan does. It brings up everything again, and it forces us to think about it. I didn't say it's not fair. I just said I didn't understand it, because you have to say this, or you're ignorant, or you don't have common sense. When in the context of what we were speaking about, there's literally like one example of a person that fell under, and because you're talking about the ideology, like, okay, there's an ideology and then there's people under that ideology, but there's also, for example, the Nazi symbol, right? That thingy, that was appropriated. So, but now it's banned. No one can use it. It has to be taken out of anime and stuff. So try and understand, and I'm trying to explain as well what I'm saying here. This symbol is bad. This ideology is bad. We know that the Nazis using this symbol is bad. We know that the people who appropriated like this ideology and did horrible things in its name is bad. But that doesn't mean that this symbol is inherently bad. Like, there are people in that ideology that created great things, that did great things, like this John Rabe guy, best known for his efforts to stop war crimes during the Japanese, blah, 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 blah. So my point is, saying one thing and say this or you're stupid. Essentially, you don't have common sense. That seems reductive to me in light of our larger conversation. Because, how do you say it? Because that's the kind of thinking that gives you this symbol. Okay, well, this is banned in the whole world. Fuck the people that were using it long before the Nazis. We've decided it's bad because it was once used for this bad thing, and now no one's allowed to use it because, like, it seems to me just reductive. You're not allowed to use this for anything else. You're not allowed to say that it means anything else or to talk about because it's bad and we've decided that it's bad and that's it. It smothers conversation, and conversation is so necessary on these topics, on the meaning behind, like a little bit, just thinking a little bit further. I don't even know who is Mussolini. Let me Google that. I've heard the name before. I'm probably sure I will be like, oh. Mussolini. He was Prime Minister of Italy from March on Rome 1922 until his deposition in 1943 and deuce of Italian fascism from the establishment. An Italian nationalist and the founder of Italian fascism, he ruled Italy as prime minister from 1925 to 1943. An inspiration and example for Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party in Germany. Oh, an inspiration and example. So that came even before. Interesting. I think I meant more so for the layman who may not be too well informed on. I'm sorry, but that comes across as like, so for people who don't know any better, they should just say this and accept this because it means the ideology and that's all there is to it. And as long as you accept that it's bad, you have common sense. Like, isn't that the opposite of common sense? I don't know, but I just think that saying people have to say one thing, otherwise they don't have common sense. And anyone who dares to question just and look a little bit deeper into just reducing a whole argument, a whole history to one phrase, you have to say this or you're dumb. I can't speak any longer because it's already 10:30 and I wanted to finish, but my bottom line is, I think in light of this whole show and how much it encourages critical thinking, it just seems to me not something I like. I don't like the sound of saying, reduce all of history to this phrase, and if you don't say it, you don't have common sense. I think it discourages discourse, and I prefer discourse. I prefer someone saying to my face, I think differently than you. I want to look differently at this. And then we can talk about it. But, okay. Thank you guys for spending time listening. I'm going to go drink some water because my throat is hurting. And I guess the next read along will be next week, Friday, the 9th of December. He is the guy that wanted to get his hands on Greece, and he took his ass on his hands. And the mother says, to be fair, ever since Rome fell, Italy has been bad at war. So thank you guys for at least, I want to say we had a conversation, but at the end, I feel like I was defending having a conversation and being allowed to have a conversation. But yeah, thank you, Sotos, and thank you, everyone. I will see you not tomorrow night because it's My Hero Academia and Spy Family. So I'll be reacting to those not live. But on Sunday for One Piece, Gintama, and manga. I'll see you guys then. Bye.